Yeah. So I cropped it in close, and then I still had these branches, and this is sort of a matter of taste. These branches almost make it a frame within a frame, so you may like it better like this, but for the sake of illustrating things, I took it out. And then, so I took it out, and then I went into darken, light, and background in Color Effects Pro and put the spotlight on their faces and darkened it out. So how did I do this? In this case, the first thing I did was make a new layer so that I have a separate layer. Okay. And then I went in here and I just basically, I've changed to my Wacom tablet, so it's a little easier for me. I have a little more control over it. So basically, whoops, I did this. It's like working the opposite for some reason. I may not be able to use this. Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. It's confusing.
Turn it upside down?
Yes, thank you. That's what happens when you move things around too much. Okay, so I have my Wacom tablet, which makes it, you don't, whoops.
You don't have a Wacom, you really should get one if you're going to do this kind of work.
It helps. Once you get used to it.
You don't have to get a Wacom, you can get one for under $100. What's it called?
For some reason I'm having trouble.
Wacom or the bamboo?
Yeah, you can get a cheap one. For
I started out with a little cheap one.
So that I'm having trouble staying in the lines right now for some reason. Okay, so what I did is I selected some of these branches. If you go into Edit and Fill, there's something up here called Content Aware. And if you hit OK, it should take out the branches. And I did this real sloppy, so it may not work as well as it should. It's taking its time. Okay. Now what I do is I created an action, which is a whole other program, but it makes it very fast. So just for the sake of making this a little faster, I'm just going to use my action, but I wanted to show you how you can go in and get that content to where fill. So,
Just clone it.
The Content Aware a few years ago was going to solve all the background problems in the world with one click of the mouse.
It don't work that way, does it?
If your background is a uniform brick wall, it will. But the Wacom is an advertisement. There are several things I would not want to take away from Nancy. Pretty high up on the list is her Wacom tablet.
WACOM.
So anybody that is versed in Photoshop and understands what actions are, I can show you how I set up the action, because you can see it's much faster to do that. I'll also use it when I'm taking spots off of faces and stuff, because if you hit Shift, this is taking ungodly long. Okay.
Wow.
So you can see how nice, it's much smoother than using the clone tool. I left a little bit here, which I want to get out. Okay, and it's gone. So there I have my nice background. Okay, and then I'm going to go into, from here, I'm going to go back into Nick again. And go back into Color Effects Pro. And the only, oops, see, it always comes up with what you had before. So this is what I had before, but not to worry. Just go in and pick what you want to do. And the only thing I want to do here is darken and lighten. Like I said, that's my favorite thing. Just put the spotlight where I want it. Maybe that's up a little too far. Back in here, do that. Okay, take this down. Oh, here, I want to change this. Again, it's sort of a portrait orientation, so I like to do with the lens. well, maybe I can change the size of the center, and then I can change the brightness, and then maybe not make this so dark. Sometimes I use this in conjunction with a vignette, and sometimes I just use it alone. It's a lot more subtle than a vignette, and it's a lot softer, but yet it still does a fabulous job of bringing your attention to your bird. Can everybody see that? Or your portrait, or your face, I mean, whatever your subject is, it just pushes you right there. And the reason for it is you're brightening up the subject that makes it look closer, and you're darkening your background so it pushes it back. So it's a push-pull type of thing. So hit OK, and it puts it on its own layer. And there you go. So you go from this to this. And I would sharpen the birds a little bit. I mean, there's all kinds of other things I would do to this picture, but that's not the topic today, so I'm not going to do it.
Technique also matters. Sherry, you were shooting that from your Wonder monopod or a tripod?
It could have been either one. I don't remember that far back. It's an older picture. But I do, if at all possible, sometimes, I'm having trouble carrying a lot of weight these days, but if I'm in a situation where I can carry my tripod, I take my tripod, and I just bought that new, gimbal head, which I love that gimbal head. And that really is giving me a real good steady way of taking pictures of birds. I really recommend that. That wasn't an expense. I got a gym.
Is that the composite one? No, that wasn't the real expensive one.
No, that was a cheaper one. It's like
That was
$150.
$65
Yeah.
or
Yeah, something like that, and it gives you a 10% discount.
Those long telephoto shots she's getting, the lens has to be very stable to get that. So that says something for her technique also.
Okay, and I have one more to show you. This is getting to be the more complicated one. Like I said, I was just going to go up in complications. Oh, maybe. Would you guys want to take a break and then we'll come back to this one? Would you rather have some coffee? Do you want me to?
Coffee's
Go
ready.
have some coffee and then I'll go back to this one. It's a little bit longer.
Can we give you a break?